Come here, guys. Come here. Hi. Oh, these cute little bantams. These are the Sarama chicks. They see that I have some egg food here. Oh, guys, want to eat some eggs? Yeah. Let the little guy in. Come on, be nice, be nice. Come on, dude, get in here. Get in. Don't tip it over, please. These guys have been a lot of fun. Super tame. They follow me around like a dog. And they've come to enjoy being outside. In the morning, I let them out, and in the evening, they follow me back into the bird house or into the bird shed, and they go right back in. Been a lot of fun. Can we say hi? Want to start a video? You want to be my pal while I talk about some zebra finches? Probably your biggest nemesis, huh? You don't really like the zebra finches. He doesn't like the zebra finches, guys. But they've learned to stay clear of the old grumpy Mikey, huh? Now, as a tip, guys, I would never recommend housing a cockatiel with smaller finches, especially in a smaller cage. We've got a big enough aviary out here that our birds can stay very far away from Mikey. Now, he doesn't go and attack birds, but if they come and fly right next to him and he doesn't want them on their perch, he'll walk over there and he'll kick them off. But I've never had him, you know, bite legs or toes or remove feathers, anything like that. He just does little warning, kind of, I wouldn't even say nips, like warning yells. You know, he opens his beak and kind of waves it at him and they fly away. Yeah, you're just a grumpy old man, huh? You want to hang out on my shoulder while we chat about the zebras? Yeah? It's hot. It's hot today. I took the fan out yesterday because it's starting to get cold, and then we had a hot 90-degree weather, huh? So he's kind of toasty right now. Up on my shoulder. All right, let's hit up the zebra finches, and we'll throw in some videos as we go throughout. I want you guys to be able to hear the good and the bad on the zebra finches. We're gonna cover high level, and we're gonna do our 3 tips for keeping, breeding, and feeding zebra finches. Hi, bro. Should we do a video today? I think we should do a video. Let's do it. So speaking of nutrition, we want to highlight an awesome brand and mix of seed. I've had quite a few people ask me, what do I feed my birds? Now, I have recently transitioned over to a Hagen seed product, and boy, oh boy, have I seen a night and day difference. The birds eat more of the seeds. They're not sifting through them as much. There's additional products in there. They've got chopped carrots in there and a few others, pellets and other types of seeds in there. I'll have to look in the ingredients. I mean, the list of ingredients that they have on this bag of seed, there's probably, goodness, at least 20 different types of seeds in there. This is the Finch mix. Now I'll turn the camera around and show you guys the bag here in just a second, but I just wanted to highlight how impressed I've been with this seed and all of my birds. I was worried about the transition. I was worried that my birds may not take to it as well. I felt like I had a pretty good seed blend, and they have done such a great job. They've loved it. They've gone straight to it, and it's been a couple weeks now with them in this new food, and I'm already starting to see more energy. Some of the birds are putting on a little bit more weight, which is what I want. We're coming into wintertime. And Goulian finches up top have chicks in the nest, and they're keeping them in the nest. I did a few other things. I'm not saying it was just the seed. There's a lot of other things you got to do on there, but I think that helped. So that's a part of it. So let me flip the camera around, show you guys what we've got here. Okay, so this is Hagen Gourmet Premium Food Blend for Finches. Guys, go on to newzealand.com. They have these 20-pound bags for a great price. Look at the different seed. I pulled some of the seed out and put it here in a bowl for you guys. Look how many different types and varieties of seeds you have in there. This covers everything from your tiny finches to your canaries. My borks, my scarlet-breasted parakeets, and even my cockatiel have really enjoyed and loved this blend. Now for my cockatiel, I do have a parakeet slash cockatiel mix that I mix into here so that he can have some of the bigger seeds. But they absolutely love it, and they do such a great job. Go on to New Zealand and get you a bag, 20-pound bag right now. Use the code BIRDBRAINS to get you 10% off these. Do it right now. If you guys are watching, go click that link that I just put in the video. Go buy you some seed right now. Awesome mix, awesome product, awesome value for its price. I made the change, and you guys won't regret it if you did. Okay, so let's jump into the care. Most everybody knows zebra finches. If you've never had a bird in the world, you've probably seen a zebra finch at PetSmart or one of your local pet stores. Walmart used to carry them back in the day when they had fish and birds. They're a very common species of bird. They're from Australia. They come in several different mutations now. Geez, a lot of different color mutations. Mostly whites, browns, grays, blacks, and the most popular one recently has been like a triple orange, which I'm trying to get a hold of some. There's been some available this year. I just didn't really want to pay the price that the breeders had them for. If you guys have bought birds from me before, I try to have great stock, but I also try to sell them at a fair price. I understand everything in the world today has gone up in price, including birds and seed, but I still try to sell them for a fair price. I'm not in the business for profit. I'm in it for a hobby, and I want you guys to be able to benefit from that as well. So zebra finches, super popular bird. Their care is super easy, which is probably why they're so popular. They breed easy, they're easy to care for, they're very resistant to most diseases. When you get into some of the different mutations, some of like your triple oranges and triple blacks, some of the mutations that aren't as established, I would say, they tend to not be as hardy. They tend to be a little bit more susceptible to mites or maybe some other diseases or cold weather, things like that. But for the most part, your zebra finches are pretty good. Zebra finches, they're a small finch, right? They're not that big. They can be housed in large aviary cages, smaller cages. They're a great starting bird. So if you have a house, you don't have this ginormous setup like I have, and you want to try out birds, I would recommend get you a pair of zebra finches. Now they are social, so don't just buy one, buy two. If you don't want babies, buy 2 females or buy 2 males, and they will bond and become as like they're a pair, but then you don't get any babies. Now, if you do want to breed them, get you a male and female. They're a great starting bird. You can start them out in smaller cages. Now, we're probably gonna get a lot of haters on here. They don't want any animal to be seen behind any type of cage, but they do well in a smaller cage that fits into your home, your apartment, etc. Their noise level, they're fairly quiet. You'll probably hear my male zebra finch singing here in the background every once in a while, and they do super well, and they're not loud enough to that your neighbors are going to hear them, or that you're going to need like earplugs when you're sitting next to their cage. Nothing like that. They're very active. They do chirp a lot, and the males do sing, but it's as far as like the volume of sound goes, they're pretty quiet. So I would recommend a zebra finch if you have never had birds before. They're an awesome beginner bird, pretty forgiving. You can put them inside of a cage, or you can put them out here in a big aviary, whichever you'd like. They do very well. Your males, well, most of your males, there are a few different color mutations that your males don't show this, but most of your males will have an orange cheek, and your females do not have any orange on their cheeks. They'll just have a black tear mark. When you get into black cheek zebra finches, that one's a little bit more tricky. Both your males and your females actually have a black cheek instead of orange, but your females, so the males on their side, they have what's called flanks or barring. So there'll be orange or black kind of bars or flanks that run down both sides of their body. your females won't have that either. So for the black cheek mutation, even though your females will have a black cheek, they shouldn't have any barring or side flanks when they're mature. And that's how you can tell male from female. And then there's a couple mutations out there, like your pieds. If you get an all-white pied, obviously, because it's pied, it cancels out any other colors, and you're just getting an all-white bird. So sometimes those ones are a little bit trickier to tell sexes because it drowns out all of the other colors, and you just have a pure white bird. Typically, your male zebra finches, their beaks are a darker orange, kind of more vibrant red-orange, and your females are a little bit lighter. Not always the case, but that's sometimes how you can tell on like those pied mutations and things like that, where you may not be able to see the orange cheeks or the orange flanks, things like that. What do you think, Mikey? I think that's probably pretty good as far as housing them goes and care. Like I said, you know, they're very easy bird. So let's jump into breeding them, and then we'll cover kind of nutrition to wrap it all up. Breeding zebra finches is super easy. Geez, it's probably harder to not breed zebra finches than it is to breed them. Even if you don't have a nest box in the cage, if you got a male and female, they're gonna make a nest in their food dish, or they're gonna make a nest in the corner. They are easy to breed. They're very willing and ready to breed. They'll breed in a small cage for you, in a large cage for you, in a mixed aviary, or in individual pairs. Now, I have certain preferences of how I want my zebra finches to breed, or maybe I want specific color mutations. So I do have large aviaries, and I have zebra finches in both, but then I also have, if you can see kind of in the back, I have smaller, large flights that I've built into like larger breeding flights, and I've actually individually put a single pair of zebra finches. I have one in the top, one down in the bottom, and they're both breeding with my Borks right now, but I wanted specific color types, and so I pulled those pairs out that had already bonded, put them in there, and they're breeding in there for me. Just because I didn't want my males to pick another female. Now it does say that zebra finches mate for life, but in a mixed aviary, that is not always the case, and I've seen males hop from females to females over my many years of housing and breeding zebra finches. So super easy to breed. Nest boxes, they'll breed in anything that has a hole. Food cups, water dishes, bottom of your cage. I use the square nest boxes. That one that you can see in the back there, that's for my Borks, but about half that size there are Finch boxes, and I'll throw a picture up here so you guys can see those. Nest boxes, wicker baskets, canary baskets. I mean, they'll build their own nest in a tree or a plant or in the corner of the aviary or their cage. They are very willing and always wanting to breed. I always have had great fertility with my zebra finches. So I've never had an issue. Females usually do really well laying eggs. They don't tend to get egg bound as frequently as maybe some of your other species do. And, oh, thanks for the kiss, buddy. Love you too. They love to build nests. They are overzealous when they're building a nest. And if you get a young pair of zebras, they'll even build nests on top of the eggs that they're laying on, and then the eggs die because they're literally building on top of it. So have to be careful on that. They love to build nests, and they're great nest builders. Once you see that first egg in the nest, usually I try to take out the rest of the nesting material, just so it's hot in here, guys. Whew, it's hot, Mikey. I have to put that fan back in here, open up the window for some breeze. So just be aware of that. They'll use any type of nest material: cocoa fiber, shredded paper, feathers, sticks, grass, leaves, weeds, all the above. They will find anything and they will bring it into that nest box if they can fit it through the hole. So, but yeah, like I said, just be aware of making sure that they don't overbuild their nest box, because they will if you give them that chance. Once you see the eggs come, try to remove the nesting material, then they'll just focus on sitting on the eggs. Now, they become sexually mature at a fairly young age. I would probably say 5 6 months and they're sexually mature. For the females, I would recommend still waiting at least 9 months before you breed them. And the reason for that is just so that they avoid becoming egg bound in any way, or avoid, lots of times when they're young parents, it takes the 1 or 2 nests for them to get the hang of it, and sometimes those chicks will die until they actually get into the groove and understand what they're doing and why they want to do it. They're kind of like teenagers, right? And so just making sure that you have the right age. But your males, I mean, they really, probably about 5 months, they can become sexually mature. So if you have a bunch of babies together, beware and separate your males and females, because they can hybridize, and they will if given the chance. So just take note of that. If you've got a smaller cage, you've got some babies that came out, make sure you have options of where you're going to put those babies, and if you need to split up your genders, males and females, so that you don't have more babies and siblings interbreeding, things like that. So take note of that, because that will happen. Let me know if you guys got any questions specifically on breeding. Typically, they're great parents. Rarely do they toss chicks out of the nest. I've had it happen before. Sometimes it's when it's too hot or you have young parents. Usually if the chicks are still alive, I'll put them back in the nest, and you usually don't toss them again. I have had a few random zebra finch pairs that just weren't good parents, and so I just stopped breeding them. I either sold them or I separated them and put them with different pairs, and then that helped fix the issue. So be aware of that. That may happen, but typically they are good parents. They typically lay 4 to 6 eggs. Fertility rates are pretty good. You'll probably have 4 to 6 chicks hatch, and I usually have a standard clutch of 4 chicks that fledge. The most chicks that I fledged this year is 8 in a nest box. All eggs hatched, all chicks survived. And that was pretty awesome. I've also had nest boxes of just 1 chick that have hatched and fledged. So, but overall, pretty easy nest, or pretty good parents. Love to build nests. They'll choose any type of nest box that you give them. And as far as like feeding them, if there's any tricks as far as when they have babies in the nest, I do give egg food on a daily basis when they have chicks in the nest. I keep calcium available at all times so that my hens don't become depleted of calcium while they're laying eggs, and also feeding their chicks. I try to increase the protein in their egg foods and daily nutrition that they eat, so that they have enough to feed their babies. With that, let's just jump into nutrition while we're at it. Zebra finches are not picky. They will eat any type of finch seed mix. Now, if you guys watched the first of the video, this Hagen mix that I've put out, this Hagen gourmet mix, they've loved it. They've gone to town on it. They've even eaten the bits of carrots and the pellets that are in the seed mix, which is awesome. The seed just smells fresh. It really is great, especially compared to what I had been using in the past. And I felt like I had a pretty good seed blend in the past, and have had a lot of success breeding my birds. But I think this is kind of taking it to that next level, which I'm really excited for. So if you guys have a zebra finch for the first time, go use that Bird Brains 10% discount. Go get you some Hagen gourmet finch mix, parakeet mix, cockatiel mix, depending on the species that you have. But for this video, if you got a zebra finch, go get some of that finch mix and try it out. You guys will not be disappointed. And they come in all different sizes. We've got 1 pound, 2 pound. I think they've got a 5 pound and a 20 pound. That's what I have, is the 20 pound, because obviously I have a lot of birds. So they've got different options as far as quantities of seed mix that you can get, which is awesome. So they love egg food. They're always willing to try whatever you put out there. If I put veggies or fruits out there, they'll go nibble at it. Egg food they love. They will eat it willingly if it's available. So don't be shy on trying new food items for your zebra finches. More times than not, they'll eat it or try it, and if they don't like it, they won't go back. But if they do, they'll keep nibbling at it, and they'll do a good job. Try to think anything else. A few myths of zebra finches. Let's see if they're true or not. Zebra finches are aggressive. I'm gonna say yes and no. I have tried to breed out aggressive zebra finches. If I have really aggressive zebra finches, I've sold them, so that usually what I have been breeding are fairly passive. When they are in the middle of breeding condition, your males and your females will defend their nests. So if anyone comes close to the nest, they will chase them away. Now I have a big enough aviary. They're not going to be chasing birds away 24/7 because there's lots of space for those other birds to go to. But they will chase them around, so be aware of that. And that's not necessarily aggressive behavior. They're just protecting their nest box. They don't chase birds around and peck them till they're bloody. There may be a couple mean zebra finches out there that may do that, so just keep aware, or an eye on your birds. Have some social or some bird awareness, and if you see that really aggressive behavior going on, you might need to separate that zebra from the rest. Yeah, but overall they're fairly passive birds. They're nosy. They check everyone's nest boxes out, and they'll choose the one that they like. And if there's a bigger bird that's bigger than them and a little bit more aggressive, they'll learn quickly that they can't just push that one around, and they'll choose the second best nest box. But they can be pushy and send birds around. So I'd say that myth to some extent is true. When they're not in breeding condition, they're super passive. They'll hang out, and I see them trying to preen my zebra finches and my Gouldian finches all the time. If they get close to Mikey, he flares his beak and tells him to get away from me. He wants his perch all to himself. Huh, you old man. You're so grumpy, but I still love you. I think that's pretty good. Let me know, guys. What comments do you have? What information would you like to know more about zebra finches? We could make a few videos going in depth on genetics and different mutations of zebra finches. We could do a video on breeding in small cages versus large cages. Let me know. Drop down in the comments what you'd like to see in the future of some zebra finch videos that I can make, or other bird videos that I can make as well. So appreciate you guys. Thank you to our new sponsor, New Zealand. Go try out their new seed mix. It really is a pretty awesome seed blend. Love it. Do you like it, Mikey? I think you like it. I hope you like it. You're eating it a good amount. So anyways, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.